Wonky Wheels 103. First ride out for a long time, and I found this spot last night. Just have a look over here. Absolutely. Now I have seen it on the map before, and I wasn't able to get down and have a look. And a little bit tricky to get down, not too bad, but yeah, a little bit tricky. And I thought there'd be no one down here. I thought, yes. And what I do, come down here, 2 4 drives. Yeah, poor people. Anyway, they bugged out. They didn't stay very long. I just had a bit of a chat to them. They were just having a bit of afternoon tea. So the fire's slowly going out now. I've spread it all clear. There's no rubbish. I've got a bit of water left, which I'll sprinkle over that before I go. So hopefully this gives you a bit of an idea of the terrain that I've come down in. The 4 drives have really got into it. Okay, you can see over here. Now today I've got no footage of me riding or anything like that because this camera doesn't have an external mic, and it's just too noisy out in the wind as well. So I've got another camera coming pretty soon. So same one I had before, bought it for eBay from America. So brand new still. They don't make them anymore, the ones I have. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. eBay only paid, what was it, 60 bucks, 80 bucks to deliver it, brand new. They're normally only about 380, I think they were, brand new. Yeah, so 4 drives, sorry guys, you do make a mess. But yeah, look at that. Anyway, the DRZ is back. So I sold, this is going to be a quick review because I'm packed up and ready to go when I get home. So I've got to remember to keep this camera straight, it's really hard. So, sold the 890, quick story, sold the 890 so I could buy 2 bikes. Sold the 890 a little while ago now because I wanted 2 bikes, because at the moment no manufacturer makes 1 bike that I want. Really after a twin cylinder that weighs, I know I'm dreaming, something like 180 kilos fully fueled with around about 18 litres, 20 litre tank. Yeah, I know, dreaming, never going to happen. So basically, on short, sold the 890 a little while ago, got good money for it, and I was able to buy 2 bikes. What did I buy? I know you're going to laugh at this. I also bought a second-hand KTM 790, but that's for another day in review, and what I paid for that, it's yeah, it's pretty good. It costs less than what this costs with this build. Alright, so long story short, I decided that I want a lightweight bike when I do my adventure rides with the camping trip. Okay, so when you've got the gear all loaded up, just because it takes away the stress when you're riding in terrain like this. For me, a 75-year-old, sorry, I'm not 75 years old, but a 75-kilo guy, an older chap as well, I don't want to manhandle a 205 kilos bike before you even put your gear on it. Okay, so yeah, there was a couple of wallabies there. Seen one yesterday. It was pretty tame. Didn't come too close, but he didn't run away. And this morning there was one just over near that tree there. I said, "G'day, how you going?" He said, "Yeah, not too bad. A bit cold last night." I said, "Yeah, a little bit cold." And then he was on his way. He didn't say too much after that. He ate some grass and off he went. Alrighty. So I bought the DRZ. Now I've had it for a little while now actually. I've had it probably for about 9 months, believe it or not. It had 4,600 Ks on it. It's now got over 10,000, getting close to 11,000. Alright. So I adventurized it. So I bought a second hand. It already had a a service tank on it, the bigger tank, 15 litres. I sold that, so I only had to put about $100 into this tank. So it had that on it already. It had this RMZ front guard, which I actually like, makes the bike a little bit more modern. So it had that on it, it had the bash plate on it. It had the radiator guards, they were already on the bike as well. Had the frame guards, they were on the bike. Had that little chain guard, you see the little chain guard down there? That was on the bike as well. So what did I do? Oh, yeah, a little chain guard protector, crash case saver, that was on it as well. The gear lever. Yeah, that's, what else is it? The bark busters were on it, but I fell off it and broke the plastic shrouds. And they look pretty brittle actually. They've been out in the sun a little bit. You can see the chains, the yellow, have gone really like, you know, that faded colour. They were only about 40 bucks because they actually just fit over the bark busters themselves. It was an older gentleman that I bought it off. Older than me actually, and he's never been crashed. You can even tell by the bar buck that's having hit the ground. The bike was brand new, it looked brand new. So yeah, so then I went out and said, right, what do I need to do to the bike? Because I know from my last 2 years build what needs to be done. So the first thing I want is the Safari tank on it, which is 17 litres. Yeah, we all know you can put more in it, and it is good for around about 400 Ks plus. I've seen lots of guys already doing tests on YouTube. So anywhere you can bank on 350 safely, no worries. But yeah. He did over 400 Ks on his. Ooh, all right, so yeah, I put that on because I wanted the fuel range. All right, I did have a windscreen from an eBay type windscreen attached to the front triple clamps, which actually did a good job. But I didn't like it because you all know the screens that are attached to your front of your triple clamps, they're too close to your face. This one was right near your neck almost, and I stand up a lot. So I want wind protection, and out there what I wanted one that wasn't attached to your triple clamps, okay, so it doesn't interfere with your steering. And this is an ARX tower that attaches to the frame, which I bought. It wasn't given it to me. So the tower itself, it's the Enduro type tower. Won't go into too much detail about fitting it. Fitting it is quite easy. It attaches to your radiator guards down here, your radiator bolts, okay, attaches to that down there. It's pretty easy to assemble, to put together. He already has all the other headlights, all that's already attached and ready to go. Look, it is quite quick to put on. Not really too much mucking around, but then what happens is when you fit enough market accessory, then you have to work out where things go, like your handlebars, your bar busters were hitting it, my triple clamps were hitting it. I've got these little spaces here at the moment so it doesn't hit the tower. You know, the indicators were hitting it, all that sort of stuff. So you need to work that out. A couple of things I've had problems with the tower, so to speak. Mainly saw the design. I spoke to him about on the phone, all that sort of stuff, and the chap who sells them. Look, he looks. Each their own. He's selling the product. He thinks it's king shit, but I there's a few things I thought that was wrong with it, needed fixing, which he asked for. He asked for any feedback, which I did. But sometimes, anyway, I'll bite my tongue there. So they give you an extension for the radiator, for the speedo cable, which goes up into here. What happens in my cable broke within 100 Ks, the extension, because what happens is where it goes up in behind the tower here, guys, so the thing, there it is there, it goes around, it's really kinked. Okay, it's really kinked. So what I had, this here is adjustable, this part here, which attaches your speedo. I had mine up more so I could see it a lot clearly, and that actually kinked it more. So he sent me another extension, which is great, but this time I've got that adjustment now, that bracket now forward as far as it will go. All right, and it's actually been in there for over 1,000 Ks now, I think, and yeah, close to 1,000 Ks and hasn't broke. All right, so that is good. I've got a spare one just in case. So that was a bit of an issue with it. I just found all these bolts here found through here, guys. I thought they had a retaining nut on them on the inside, all threaded, because to get to these ones here, you've got to take all this top bracket off to get down in behind it, to get this front bracket off. And you might say, why do you want to get that bracket off? Because it allows you to get in behind to the electrics without taking the whole thing apart. So to get those bolts and nuts to put that together was actually a nightmare. You had to makeshift it like a spanner that holds the nut in place. I just thought it could be better. Anyway, he didn't agree with that idea. Yeah, a couple of things like that I thought could improve. The screen, my screen bracket broke within I think it was the first ride when the speedo cable broke. So I asked for the clear screen. Now I didn't know this clear screen is actually a different design as well. So the shape of the screen's different, but the bracket's also different. So this clear screen bracket does attach down to the bottom here, okay? But the top bracket, you might be able to see it, the camera's holding it clear for you. See my finger here, okay? That's where it used to attach to. So it used to actually, what did it used to do? It used to come from here, that's right, it used to come from here, loop down, and then attach to that. So it was about that long. But the metal that he used, which is the same as this metal here, okay, see it there, it just looks like, I'm sorry, but you know you get that cheap metal from China, or whatever it is, you bend it a couple of times and it just snaps. So I thought to myself, that screen, that's going to break. And because the screen moved this way big time, it would move that much, it was hitting the bracket forward. You see I put those little rubber spots there, spaces there, so it wouldn't hit it. That's how much it was flexing, guys. I thought, this screen's not going to last. And yeah, it didn't. It broke, okay? So he said to me, look, he has had them break before. And I thought, this is what I'm like. I thought, well, you know they're breaking, mate. Why sell them, really? Okay, why sell them, okay, if they're breaking? You know it's a fault. Why sell the product? And he said, I'll send you the tinted screen. So I was a little bit confused at the time, thinking, why send me the tinted screen? I said, just send me the bracket, mate. I don't need to have a screen. But anyway, he said, I'll send you the tinted screen. They're a lot better. And then I realised that when they did turn up, the screen for the grey, the tinted screen, it's different. And it's the way I would have done it as well. I was looking at fixing the other one, how it broke. See how it's now mounted from the frame straight to the screen? Right there, guys. There's a difference there. It doesn't move. That's how it should be. Now, I have a look on his website. He doesn't sell the clear screen anymore. Okay? I haven't seen it on there. Because now the tower, this is a Gen 4, he's now selling a Gen 5. Now I'm a little bit, I know he's got to sell what he's got there, but at the time the Gen 5 was finished and just about to come out. So basically what he's doing is selling what stock he had left, not telling me about the Gen 5. That's my opinion, and then it come out. So anyway, that's just me whinging there. I digress. There's not too much different to the Gen 5. I think it's got some sort of mounting bracket down here for a headlight or something. I don't know. But anyway, I got what I got. What else was there? Yeah, so that's about the screen, and it gives you pretty good wind protection. I did complain about, not complain, just suggest about the screen shape. I thought it could be a little bit different shaped, as in a little bit wider. So this cut out here, come down here, protect the USB charging port there, see it there? Okay, because when you actually got your devices charging in that and your leads carrying them into it, as you can see, guys, it's totally exposed. You know what I mean? It's anything coming through, any, you know, rocks getting flicked up. I thought the screen could come down here and protect it, and also around the other side to give a bit more protection to the fuse block as well. But he didn't like that idea at all. He recommended me to go and buy the Adventure tower with the bigger screen, which is I think the same screen as the KTM Rally, the rally bike screen. Yeah, but that's $2,500, mate. I don't want it $2,500. I want to spend what I paid on this, which is about $1,200. So anyway. He didn't like that idea either. But overall, that's just my opinion, and he didn't agree with it. And yeah, good on him. So yeah, all happy with the screen. It's not the tower. It's working pretty well. No problems with it at all. I did lose power to the front headlight. The switch wasn't working. But I did actually the little clips at the back there, mucked around them, tightened them up a little bit, and now it's working again. But other than that, the screen, the tower structure has been good so far. I haven't had any. This is the biggest trip I've done on it actually. It's all good. It's holding up, and it gives you a little bit of wind protection, enough around the chest. Okay, because he calls it his enduro pack, so it's not the adventure screen. It's the enduro screen. See, but yeah, it does give you that bit of wind protection around the chest area, which is what you want. I get no sort of a wind issue with the helmet or anything like that. But then again, everyone's different. You may get buffering, but I don't. My height, what I get. It allows you to attach the speedo, the original speedo, and as you see there, I've got my my phone. That one there is the waterproof phone. I use it just for navigation. It fits up there nice, and it looks good. I've felt no sort of interference with the front end, how it feels. It doesn't feel heavy at the front or whatever it may be. I'm very happy with that tower. And then it also doesn't add weight to your steering as well, like some that you attach to the triple clamps. Okay. Alrighty, also the things that I knew from a DRZ which I had to do to the bike. Now this is all done over time, guys. It wasn't all done, you know, drop of a hat. So it was over that 9-month period. The last thing I actually did to it was put the 270 front disc. So that's a 270. That is a big difference. I do recommend, guys, anyone out there, put one of those discs on. You'll notice the difference in the braking. It's just so much better, especially when you load it up on the bike. Okay, it just adds a little bit more of that braking power. And it's progressive, it's nice. So I put that on it. I put this little tube on it as well, tool tube as well. If I'd thought about it again, I would have got one a little bit rounder, diameter-wise. It holds my trail stand, my homemade trail stand, and gear tyre levers and a couple of things, but that's about it. Yeah, I messed up there. Should have got one a little bit, diameter-wise, a bit fatter. Oh, they're not dear either. You know, they're from China, wherever they are. So I put that on, put the little rack on it, B&B rack. I put that on it as well, guys, and that's working well. I'm running a 1541 sprocket setup, so it sits on 95 to 100. I'd say anywhere from 90 to 95 for me. It just, don't even realise it is nice. I will use the word cruising. It does nice. It sits on 100 fine as well. So that's what I wanted, and it's still, guys, for me. I know people run maybe a 45 on the back or 44 or whatever, but it's just revving too much for me. I want it to be under 5,000 RPM. Under 6,000 RPM at 100, and with this 1541 gearing it is. I forget what it is now, guys. I think it's about 5.6 or something it does at 100. So yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. I had the shock at Pro Motor Suspension. I will mention him. He looked up, been going to Ian there for many years. He revalved the shock for me, night and day. Compared to the standard shock to the revalving, night and day. I cannot. It is, or we'll use the word game changer, because it is. It just makes the bike so better how the bike handles. Instead of the old pogo stick and bouncing all over the place, even with the valving adjustments that with the bike stock suspension wound right up, didn't really make too much difference. fantastic. We were going to put a heavier spring in it, but he didn't have one. So at the moment, yeah, that heavier spring with the gear on would have been absolutely fantastic. But I don't ride it that often with it like this, see? So, yeah. So at the moment, I'm probably going to say I'll probably keep that standard spring, which I think it's 5.4 Newton or 0.454 Newton meter spring in it. Okay, we're going to put a 5.56 spring in it. The front fork springs are heavier now too. They were actually in the bike. They're already in the bike itself. I can't remember what the standard is. I think standard might be 5.6. They're 6 now. So heavier springs, which fantastic. You know, with the heavier with the fuel tank and a tower, now the bike feels really nice and stable riding it. What else did I do to it? The last thing that I got for it, which was a heaven sent. I was actually in agony with it. I do have one more actually. My brother sent me a link to the Sergeant seat. To get these sent here in Australia, they're close to $1,000. So I just waited and waited, and my brother sent me a link for this chap selling it here in Australia, brand new, and I got the seat. I had to pay for postage, so including postage, $550 for a brand new Sergeant seat. Nice white beauty. I had the same seat on my DRZ, my first build. Beautiful, love it. All right, and one more thing. Don't want this to be too long. I put the Barrett muffler on it. The standard muffler, I hate the sound of it. Terrible. They're just a canister with a little bit of a baffle at the back. That's all they are. They don't have a proper perforated pipe through the whole centre of them. They're just a canister. That's why they sound like they do shit, in my opinion. And I don't know if it's just me, but now with that exhaust on it, the airbox is already opened up. I opened up the airbox a little as well on the side here, pretty high up, so it doesn't interfere water crossings as well. With that little bit of air into the airbox and that muffler, look, I love to ride my brother's DRZ back to back, but I feel this thing's got a little bit more power. It really does. With even that stock gearing, it's still, you know, look guys, you might be going a bit of a gnarly hill and you're in third gear and, you know, and it's just chunking away. You know, that's why these motors are so good. You open the throttle with these motors and you know, not like, for an example, which I have ridden, a Honda DRZ400, for example. You open the throttle and they don't do anything. These things just start picking up speed and then off they go, you know what I mean? They might not loft the front wheel and spin out fucking rocks all over the place, but they just still have that power to keep on going. All right, so my next video when I get my camera will be riding the bike and showing you how it goes with the standard gearing on it. So overall, yeah, this trip with the gear on, you realise that it is the bike for this type of stuff. It's reliable, it's going to keep going for you. I am really enjoying the bike because what it cost me. Ideally for me guys, the ideal bike for this type of stuff is like my 690 that I had. It had that set up, the tanks at the front and that type of stuff. I like that bike, but I just didn't have trust in it. Had a lot of problems with it. It was an old bike. I really tried to hang on to that, but I just didn't have confidence that it was always going to start when I turned it off. But I'm touch wood. I'm pretty confident this DRZ will not let me down if you maintain it. So that's it. That's a quick review. That's it from the cockpit there. Beautiful. Love it. Little mirrors I had on it. They're just old mirrors I had at home. Put them on it. Got away from the stupid big mirrors on it. So they're nice tucked away. Keep out of the way of trees. Alright, that's it. I'm going to head home. Fire's just about out. What a beautiful location. We'll catch up next time, guys. See yous.